Be strong.
Why French women don't get fat. Hi Leah. How are you today?
Hi, Alex. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm good, thanks. I've been thinking about something lately and I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on it.
Sure, what's on your mind?
I recently read a book called Why French Women Don't Get Fat and I was wondering if you've heard of it.
Yes, I've heard of it. It's a popular book that talks about the eating habits of French women, right?
Yes, that's right. The author claims that French women are able to eat rich, delicious food and still stay thin. I was wondering if you think there's any truth to that.
Well, I think there is some truth to it. French women do tend to eat smaller portions and they place a lot of emphasis on enjoying their food. They also tend to walk a lot more than Americans, which helps them stay active.
That's interesting. The book also talks about how French women don't snack as much as Americans do. Do you think that's true?
I think that's generally true. French women tend to eat 3 meals a day and they don't usually snack in between. They also tend to eat very slowly and savor their food, which helps them feel more satisfied.
That makes sense. The book also talks about the importance of fresh, seasonal ingredients in French cooking. Do you think that's a big factor?
Absolutely. French cuisine places a lot of emphasis on fresh, high-quality ingredients. They also tend to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, which are good for you.
That's a good point. Do you think there are any downsides to the French approach to eating?
Well, I think one downside is that French cuisine can be quite rich and high in calories. It's important to enjoy it in moderation. Also, the emphasis on slow eating can be difficult for people who are used to eating quickly.
I see what you mean. Do you think the French approach to eating could be applied in other countries?
I think so. I think the key is to place more emphasis on enjoying your food and eating slowly. Also, it's important to focus on high-quality, fresh ingredients.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people in the US are starting to become more interested in the French approach to eating.
Yes, I think there's a lot we can learn from the French when it comes to food and eating habits.
Have you ever tried any French recipes at home?
Yes, I love to cook and I've tried a few French recipes. They're usually pretty easy to follow and the results are always delicious.
That's great. What's your favorite French dish?
I really love coq au vin. It's a classic French dish that's made with chicken and red wine. It's a little bit time-consuming to make, but the end result is always worth it.
That sounds delicious. I'll have to try making it sometime.
You definitely should. Do you like to cook?
I do, but I'm not very experienced. I usually stick to simple dishes.
There's nothing wrong with that. Cooking can be a great way to relax and unwind after a long day. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become in the kitchen.
That's true. Do you have any tips for someone who's just starting out in the kitchen?
Sure. I would say start with simple recipes and work your way up. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes, that's how you learn. And always taste your food as you go so you can adjust the seasoning as needed.
Those are great tips, thanks. Have you been to France before?
Yes, I've been to France a few times. I love the culture, the food, and the architecture. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. But it's definitely on my bucket list. What's your favorite city in France?
That's a tough question. There are so many amazing cities in France. But if I had to pick one, I would say Paris. It's such a beautiful city with so much to see and do.
I've heard so many great things about Paris. I'd love to see the Eiffel Tower and visit the Louvre.
Those are both amazing sights to see. And there's so much more to Paris than just the tourist attractions. The neighborhoods are also unique and charming.
That sounds wonderful. Maybe one day we can go to Paris together.
That would be so much fun. We could try all the delicious food and explore the city together.
Speaking of food, do you have any recommendations for a good French restaurant in town?
Yes, there's a great little bistro downtown called La Petite Maison. They have amazing steak frites and a great wine selection.
That sounds perfect. We'll have to go there soon.
Definitely. And if you're ever in the mood for something sweet, there's a great pâtisserie down the street from there that makes the best macarons.
I love macarons. What's your favorite flavor?
I really like the classic flavors vanilla, chocolate, and raspberry. But they have some really unique flavors too, like lavender and rose.
That's interesting. I've never tried lavender or rose-flavored macarons before.
They're really delicious. You'll have to try them next time we go.
I definitely will. Thanks for the recommendation.
Anytime. So what else have you been up to lately?
Not much, just trying to stay busy with work and other projects. How about you?
Same here. I've been working a lot, but I'm also trying to make time for some fun activities, like cooking and hiking.
That sounds great. I've been wanting to get more into hiking. Do you have any favorite trails around here?
Yes, there's a great trail in the mountains that has amazing views of the city. It's a little bit challenging, but it's definitely worth it.
That sounds perfect. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
No problem. Let me know when you want to go and we can plan a trip.